My name is Robert Mitchell. I'm 61 years old, and for 32 years I wore the badge as a detective sergeant in Philadelphia. Tonight, I'm sharing how one phone call at 2:47 a.m. turned my quiet retirement into a battle against a system I once trusted with my life. My grandson Tyler, barely 17, was behind bars, accused of attacking his stepfather, Marcus Shaw. But what I discovered that night would expose a web of lies so twisted, even I couldn't have imagined it. Before I continue, I need your help. Hit that subscribe button and leave a comment telling me where you're watching from. Your engagement could literally save someone's life. The phone's shrill ring cuts through the darkness. In 3 decades of police work, I learned that 2 a.m. calls never bring good news. I fumble for my phone, my heart already racing. Granddad. Tyler's voice cracks with desperation. I'm at the 5th District Station. They've got me locked up. Marcus told them I came at him with a bat, but that's a lie. He started it. He always starts it. Tyler, are you injured? Did anyone hurt you? I'm already out of bed, searching for my clothes in the dark. My wife Sarah died 2 years ago, so there's no one to wake. My ribs hurt real bad, Granddad. The sergeant here, he knows Marcus from somewhere. He won't listen to anything I say. Please, you gotta come. Don't say another word until I get there. Understand? I dress quickly, my mind racing through scenarios. Marcus Shaw, my daughter-in-law Rebecca's second husband. I never trusted the man. My son David died in a construction accident 6 years ago, leaving Rebecca devastated. When Marcus appeared 18 months later, all charm and money, she fell fast. Too fast. I grabbed my old detective shield, though it expired 3 years ago. But symbols carry weight, especially in police stations where memory runs deep. The city streets are empty as I drive, my thoughts spiraling. Tyler's a straight-A student, captain of the debate team, never been in trouble. If he's calling me from a holding cell, something's gone terribly wrong. The 5th District Station looms ahead, a squat concrete building I know too well. I trained here back in '94. The fluorescent lights burn harsh against the night as I push through the doors. A rookie cop sits at the front desk, absorbed in his phone. Evening. Robert Mitchell, retired detective. My grandson Tyler Brennan is being held. I want to see him immediately. The officer barely glances up. Hold on. He picks up the internal line. Sergeant Rawlings, there's an old guy here asking about the kid from the domestic assault. I grip the counter, fighting to keep my composure. Through the reinforced glass, I catch a glimpse of the holding area. Tyler's silhouette is hunched on a bench. The security door buzzes open. Sergeant Dale Rawlings emerges, a thick-necked man in his late 40s with cold eyes and a smirk that sets my teeth on edge. We've never met, but I know the type. Detective Mitchell, he drawls. Heard you retired. Fishing keeping you busy. Skip the pleasantries, Rawlings. I want to see my grandson and review the charges. Sure thing. My office first. I follow him down a corridor that reeks of industrial cleaner and old coffee. Through a window, I see Tyler more clearly, a dark bruise blooming on his jaw, his shirt torn at the collar. In Rawlings' office, I notice a framed photo on the credenza. Rawlings and Marcus Shaw at what looks like a marina, both holding beers and grinning. They're not just acquaintances, they're friends. Your grandson attacked his stepfather tonight, Rawlings begins, settling into his chair. Busted his jaw, nearly fractured his cheekbone. Mr. Shaw's at County Hospital getting x-rays. We've got surveillance footage that shows the whole incident. I want to see it. He swivels his monitor toward me. The video shows what appears to be a den. Marcus walks into frame, gesturing as if speaking calmly. Tyler enters, clearly agitated. Then, abruptly, my grandson lunges forward, shoving Marcus backward into a bookshelf. The clip ends. That's it. Where's the preceding footage? That's all the system captured. Technical glitch, apparently. Convenient glitch. And I suppose you're going to tell me Tyler has a history of violence. Matter of fact, school records show 3 suspensions for aggressive behavior. That's fabricated. Tyler's never been suspended once. Rawlings leans back, his expression hardening. Look, former detective, I understand you want to protect your family. But the evidence is clear. I want to talk to Tyler. Now. But what I found when I finally saw my grandson made my blood run cold. And the evidence hidden in that footage? It would blow this case wide open. If we could survive long enough to expose it, Rawlings leads me to the holding cells with obvious reluctance. When Tyler sees me, he stands up quickly, and I see the full extent of his injuries. Beyond the bruised jaw, there's a split lip, a gash above his left eye that should have been stitched, and the way he holds his left arm suggests cracked ribs. "Granddad." His voice breaks. Rawlings unlocks the cell. 5 minutes. I embrace Tyler carefully, feeling him trembling. "Tell me everything." His words come in a rushed whisper. Marcus came home drunk, drunker than usual. Started screaming that I was disrespecting him, that I turned Mom against him. When I tried to walk away, he grabbed me by the shirt and slammed me into the wall. That's when my head hit the shelf and I started bleeding. "Where was your mother?" "Business trip in Boston. Back tomorrow morning." His eyes fill with tears. I try to defend myself, Granddad. I pushed him away, and he fell into the bookshelf. Then he called the cops, saying I attacked him first. And that video. I saw it. It's been edited. How do you know? Because I spent 30 years watching surveillance footage. The timestamp jumps. There's at least 2 minutes missing before that shove. Rawlings clears his throat impatiently. "Time's up, Mitchell." I squeeze Tyler's shoulder. "I'm getting you out. That's a promise." Outside the cell, I confront Rawlings. "My grandson has obvious injuries. Where's your report documenting them? Why isn't Marcus Shaw being questioned for assault?" Mr. Shaw explained those injuries occurred when Tyler resisted the arresting officers. "That's garbage and you know it. I want a doctor to examine Tyler immediately and document every injury." "It's 3:30 in the morning, Mitchell." "Then call the on-duty medical examiner. Either you do it, or I call the district attorney's office right now to report procedural violations and evidence tampering." Rawlings' jaw clenches. "Fine, but it won't change anything. The kid's staying here until his arraignment." While he makes the call, I dial a number I haven't used in years. 3 rings, then. "Lieutenant Chin speaking." "Nicole, it's Rob Mitchell. I need your help urgently." Lieutenant Nicole Chin is one of the few people in the department I trust with my life. Sharp, principled, and immune to political pressure. I explained the situation quickly. "I'm on nights this week," she says. "I can be there in 25 minutes. Don't let them rush anything." "Thank you, Nicole." As I wait, I watch the station's activity. 2 officers whisper near the water cooler, glancing at me. Then the front doors open, and Marcus Shaw walks in. He's got gauze taped to his left cheek, and his jaw looks swollen. When our eyes meet, surprise flashes across his face, quickly replaced by a calculated smile. "Robert, didn't expect to see you here. Didn't expect to see my grandson beaten and locked up on false charges." Marcus moves closer, lowering his voice. "Look, this is just a misunderstanding. Tyler's been troubled since David died. He needs structure, discipline. The kind of discipline that splits open a 17-year-old's eyebrow. Those injuries came from resisting arrest. Ask the officers. Or maybe they came from your fists, and you called your friend Rawlings to manufacture a story." Marcus' expression hardens. "Be careful making accusations, old man. Your time is over. This is my family now. We'll see about that." Lieutenant Chin arrives, crisp in her uniform despite the hour. Rawlings emerges from his office, tension evident in his posture. "Lieutenant Chin." "Unexpected visit." "Routine oversight, Sergeant. I understand there's been a domestic assault arrest. I need to review all documentation and interview the detainee." Marcus extends his hand. "Marcus Shaw, I'm the victim here." Chin ignores his hand. "Lieutenant Chin, I'll need your statement as well, Mr. Shaw, but separately from the detainee." The medical examiner arrives, a young woman who introduces herself as Dr. Patel. Chin escorts her to Tyler's cell while I wait in the corridor. Marcus sits in the waiting area, his leg bouncing nervously. 30 minutes later, Chin emerges with Dr. Patel, who's filling out forms. They speak quietly, then Chin approaches me. "The injuries are consistent with Tyler's account, not with the official report. Dr. Patel's documentation directly contradicts Sergeant Rawlings' statement. Can you get the full surveillance footage? I'd need a warrant. and for that I need probable cause of evidence tampering. She pauses. Unless Tyler calls out from his cell. Granddad, the Petersons next door. They have a Ring doorbell that faces our driveway. Mrs. Peterson showed me once. It records everything. Chen's eyes light up. Address: 1847, Birchwood Lane, Riverside District. I'm going there now. If that footage contradicts the edited video, we can flip this entire case. I'll stay with Tyler. Keep him safe, detective. She uses my old title deliberately. This stinks of corruption. But as Lieutenant Chen drove off into the night, neither of us knew that Marcus Shaw had already made a call, one that would turn this from a simple cover-up into something far more dangerous. The minutes crawl by. Rawlings keeps disappearing into his office, emerging to make hushed phone calls. Marcus paces the waiting area, checking his phone obsessively. I sit near Tyler's cell, close enough to talk quietly. How long has this been going on? I ask. Tyler stares at his hands. About 4 months after he married Mom. Started with verbal stuff, calling me lazy, stupid, saying I was the reason he and Mom fought. Then about 3 months ago, he came home after losing big at some poker game. Blamed me somehow. That's when he first hit me. Did your mother see? It's always when she's away on business. And when I tried telling her, Marcus twisted it. Said I was lying because I couldn't accept her remarrying. After a while, Mom stopped believing me. Why didn't you call me sooner? Tyler's voice cracks. I thought I could handle it. And I didn't want to hurt Mom. She seemed happy for the first time since Dad died. My heart aches. From now on, you call me. First sign of trouble, you call. Nearly 2 hours pass before Lieutenant Chen returns, and she's not alone. She's brought District Attorney Patricia Weston, a woman whose reputation for integrity is legendary. Behind them is Mrs. Peterson, a silver-haired woman clutching a tablet. Rawlings' face drains of color. Marcus stands up, confused. Sergeant Rawlings. D.A. Weston's voice cuts through the station like a blade. I need to see all files related to this case immediately. While Rawlings leads the DA to his office, Chen approaches our cell with Mrs. Peterson. Show Detective Mitchell what you showed me, Chen says. Mrs. Peterson holds up her tablet. This is from my Ring doorbell 3 nights ago. The video shows Marcus's driveway. Tyler is taking out trash when Marcus stumbles out of the house, clearly drunk. He grabs Tyler by the shirt, throws him against the garage door, then strikes him twice before Tyler manages to break free and run inside. The audio captures Marcus shouting, "You tell anyone about this, I'll make sure you rot in juvie. You understand me?" There's more, Chen says quietly. Mrs. Peterson has footage from 5 different incidents over the past 3 months. Hope surges through me. This changes everything. D.A. Weston spends over an hour in Rawlings' office. Through the window, I see her gesturing sharply at documents, her expression severe. Finally, she emerges. Mr. Mitchell, I'm Patricia Weston, District Attorney. After reviewing the evidence and procedures, I've found multiple violations of protocol and probable cause for evidence tampering. Marcus jumps up. What? I'm the victim here. That kid attacked me. Mr. Shaw. Weston's voice is ice. The surveillance footage you provided was edited at 11:43 p.m. tonight, approximately 30 minutes before you called 911. The metadata doesn't lie. Additionally, we have third-party video evidence showing a pattern of abuse. This is ridiculous. I want my lawyer. That's an excellent idea. Lieutenant Chen, please release Mr. Brennan. His detention was procedurally invalid. Chen doesn't hide her satisfaction as she unlocks Tyler's cell. My grandson looks at me, disbelieving. I can go. Yes, D.A. Weston confirms. But I'll need both you and your grandfather available for depositions. Marcus moves toward us, his face contorted with rage. You can't do this. I have connections. I know people at City Hall. Your connections are also under investigation, Weston replies coolly, including your relationship with Sergeant Rawlings and certain members of the City Council. Tampering with evidence is a felony, Mr. Shaw. Sergeant Rawlings, Weston continues. You're suspended effective immediately pending an internal affairs investigation. Badge and weapon, please. Rawlings' face twists with barely controlled fury. This is wrong. My procedures were by the book. Your procedures included filing a false report and accepting tampered evidence. Lieutenant Chun is assuming command of this district until further notice. We leave the station as dawn breaks. Tyler walks beside me, exhausted but free. In the car, he finally asks, "Is it really over?" "Not yet, but we're winning." But I was wrong. Marcus Shaw wasn't done, not by a long shot. And what he'd do next would put everyone I loved in danger. At my house, I make coffee while Tyler showers and changes into some of my old clothes. Sitting at the kitchen table, we have the conversation we should have had months ago. "Why didn't Mom see it?" Tyler asks. How could she not know? Abusers are skilled manipulators. They know how to present one face to the world and another behind closed doors. Your mother isn't stupid. She's been manipulated. My phone rings. It's Rebecca, Tyler's mother. "Dad, Marcus just called me, completely hysterical. He says Tyler attacked him and you interfered with his arrest. What's going on?" I explain everything, the evidence, the edited footage, Mrs. Peterson's videos. Rebecca is silent for a long moment. "I'm catching the next flight home," she finally says. "I need to see Tyler." After I hang up, Tyler looks worried. She'll take his side. She always does. Not this time. The evidence is too strong. But I'm more worried than I let on. Men like Marcus don't surrender easily. The next 2 days pass in tense quiet. Tyler stays with me while Rebecca flies back. D.A. Weston calls with updates. Marcus is facing multiple charges, including assault, evidence tampering, and obstruction of justice. Rawlings has been formally charged as well. On the third morning, Rebecca arrives, but Marcus is with her. What is he doing here? I demand at the door. He's my husband, Dad. We need to talk about this as a family. He's not family. He's an abuser. Marcus puts on his most reasonable expression. Mr. Mitchell, I understand your concern. Things got out of hand, but Tyler and I can work through this. Boys need discipline. Boys need safety. Lieutenant Chen's voice cuts in. She's just arrived, and her expression is grim. Mr. Shaw, you were supposed to report for questioning yesterday. You didn't show. I was supporting my wife. You ignored a direct order from the DA's office. That's another violation. Rebecca looks between us, confused and frightened. Dad, what's happening? Your husband is going to prison, I say bluntly. The evidence against him is overwhelming. But he said the footage was taken out of context. Mom, Tyler appears in the doorway. He's lying. He's always lied. And you know it, don't you? Deep down, you knew something was wrong. Rebecca's face crumbles. Tyler, Mr. Shaw. Chen steps forward. I need you to come with me for questioning. Marcus' mask slips. His face hardens. I'm not going anywhere. You people have railroaded me from the start. I have lawyers' connections. Your connections are under investigation, too, Chen says. We've uncovered payments to Sergeant Rawlings, off-books consulting fees to city council members. This goes way beyond assault. Marcus looks at Rebecca. Are you going to let them destroy our family over your son's lies? Tyler pulls up his shirt, revealing the dark bruises on his ribs. Are these lies, Mom? Rebecca stares at the injuries, her face going pale. Something breaks in her expression, denial giving way to horrified realization. Get out, she whispers to Marcus. Get out of my sight. Marcus' expression turns venomous. You'll regret this. All of you. He storms out, ignoring Chen's calls to stop. She immediately radios for patrol units. Subject fleeing, possible flight risk. But Marcus has disappeared. For 3 days, there was no sign of him. And that's when I got the call that would change everything. A call that would force me to risk everything to save my family. 3 days pass with no sign of Marcus. The DA freezes his bank accounts. Police monitor his known associates. Tyler begins to relax, even smile occasionally. Rebecca files for divorce and a restraining order. Then, on the 4th morning, Rebecca decides to return to the house to collect belongings. I insist on accompanying her, but she refuses. The police have been watching the house all week. Marcus isn't there. I'll be fine. Something in my gut screams warning, but I don't want to seem overprotective. Call me when you arrive and before you leave. I promise. An hour later, my phone rings. But it's not Rebecca, it's Marcus. Listen carefully, old man. Your daughter-in-law is with me. If you want to see her alive, bring Tyler to the old Riverside Textile Warehouse on Harbor Street. 1 hour. Just you two. If I see one cop, Rebecca dies. The line goes dead. My hands shake as I dial Lieutenant Chin. Detective, we have a situation. Rebecca never made it home. The officer assigned to escort her was found unconscious in his patrol car. Marcus has her, I say. He just called. Wants me to bring Tyler to the Riverside Warehouse in 1 hour, or he'll kill Rebecca. Don't go alone. It's a trap. I know, but I can't risk Rebecca's life. Give me the location. I'll have undercover units in position. I provide the details, then turn to Tyler, who's overheard everything. I'm coming with you, he says firmly. No, it's too dangerous. She's my mother, and this is my fault. This isn't your fault, Tyler. None of it. If you don't take me, I'll find my own way there. I see his father's stubbornness in his eyes. If I leave him, he'll follow, possibly putting himself in even more danger. Fine, but you do exactly what I say. No questions. I retrieve my old service weapon from the lockbox, a Glock 19 I haven't touched in 3 years. I pray I won't need it. The drive to the warehouse feels endless. Tyler sits beside me, his hands clenched in his lap. Do you have a plan? He asks. Lieutenant Chun is positioning units around the perimeter. We just need to buy time until they're in place. What if they're late? Then we improvise. The warehouse looms ahead, a decrepit brick structure with shattered windows and graffiti-covered walls. I park a block away. Stay behind me at all times. I tell Tyler. If shooting starts, you run. Understand? He nods, but I see the fear in his eyes. My phone vibrates, a text from Chun. Units moving into position. ETA 12 minutes. Stall if possible. 12 minutes might as well be 12 hours. We approach the warehouse. The main door hangs open, groaning in the breeze. Inside, the air smells of decay and rust. Marcus. I call out. We're here. Back room, detective. Both of you. We navigate through debris and abandoned machinery. In a cleared space at the rear, I see Rebecca bound to a chair, duct tape over her mouth. Her eyes are wide with terror. Marcus stands behind her, a revolver in his hand. Mom. Tyler starts forward, but I grab his arm. Very good, Marcus says. Following instructions. See, Tyler? That's the kind of obedience I always wanted from you. Let her go, Marcus. This is between you and me. No, it's not. It's about respect. Control. Everything I built with Rebecca, this kid destroyed. You destroyed it yourself when you started beating a child. Marcus' face twists. Discipline isn't abuse. My father beat me daily. It made me strong. It made you a monster. Careful, old man. Marcus presses the gun to Rebecca's head. I hold all the cards here. I calculate the distance, about 20 feet. Too far to reach him before he could shoot. What do you want, Marcus? I want my life back. I want the charges dropped, the investigation stopped. I want my reputation restored. That's not going to happen. Then we all die here, starting with your daughter-in-law. Tyler speaks up, his voice steady. If you kill her, you lose everything. Right now, you're facing assault charges. Kill her, and it's capital murder. Is revenge worth death row? Marcus laughs bitterly. Smart kid. Got your grandfather's brain. But you're wrong about one thing. I've got nothing left to lose. A noise echoes from the front of the warehouse. Marcus tenses. Who's there? Police. Lieutenant Chen's voice rings out. Drop the weapon, Shaw. Marcus' expression turns feral. He shifts the gun from Rebecca to Tyler. You called the cops. I told you what would happen. Everything slows down. I see Marcus' finger tightening on the trigger. Without thinking, I lunge forward, putting myself between the gun and my grandson. The shot is deafening in the enclosed space. I feel impact, hot, sharp pain in my left shoulder. But I keep moving, tackling Marcus. We crash to the concrete floor. The gun skitters away. Chun and 2 officers rush in, They pull Marcus away, forcing him face down and cuffing him. Suspect secured. Chin shouts into her radio. We need medical officer down. Tyler and Rebecca are suddenly beside me. Tyler's hands press against my shoulder, trying to stem the bleeding. Granddad, stay with me. I'm okay, I manage. Just a flesh wound. You're bleeding a lot. Chin kneels beside me, already applying pressure with a trauma pad from her first aid kit. Ambulance is 2 minutes out. You did good, detective. As the adrenaline fades, the pain intensifies. But looking at Tyler and Rebecca, both safe, both alive, I know it was worth it. The bullet tore through muscle and nicked bone, but I survived. And Marcus Shaw. His story was just beginning, because what came out during his trial would shock everyone. The hospital stay lasts 5 days. The bullet damaged my shoulder joint, requiring surgery and extensive physical therapy. The doctors say I'll regain most of my mobility, but I'll probably never throw a baseball the same way again. I can live with that. Tyler visits daily, often doing homework at my bedside. Rebecca comes too, guilt etched in every line of her face. I should have seen it, she says for the 100th time. I should have protected him. You can't change the past, I tell her, but you can shape the future. Tyler needs you now more than ever. Lieutenant Chun brings updates. Marcus is being held without bail, facing a growing list of charges. Kidnapping, attempted murder, assault, evidence tampering, bribery. The investigation into his business dealings has uncovered fraud, money laundering, and connections to organized crime. He kept his criminal activities completely separate from his personal life, Chin explains. Rebecca had no idea. His legitimate consulting business was a front. What about Rawlings? Pleading guilty in exchange for testimony. He's cooperating fully. Names, dates, evidence. This is going to bring down a lot of people. D.A. Weston visits on my 4th day. Mr. Mitchell, I wanted you to hear this directly. We're implementing a new protocol for domestic violence cases. Mandatory third-party evidence review. Independent medical examinations. Automatic internal affairs oversight when the accused has connections to law enforcement. That's a good start. We're naming it the Mitchell-Brennan Protocol, after you and your grandson. Tyler, sitting in the corner, looks up in shock. What? Your testimony, your courage in coming forward despite the threats. It's highlighted systematic flaws we need to address. Weston looks at both of us. You've created a legacy that will protect countless other families. After she leaves, Tyler sits on the edge of my bed. Did you hear that, Granddad? They're naming it after us. After you, I correct. You're the brave one. Making that call, standing up to Marcus, testifying. That took real courage. I learned it from you. The trial begins 6 weeks later. I attend despite my arm still being in a sling. The courtroom is packed. Reporters, city officials, other officers. Marcus sits at the defense table, looking diminished in his orange jumpsuit. The prosecution presents overwhelming evidence. Mrs. Peterson's Ring doorbell footage showing 5 separate assaults, the edited surveillance video with its revealing metadata, Tyler's medical records documenting injuries over months, financial records showing bribes to Rawlings and city officials, witness testimony from neighbors who heard screaming but were too afraid to report it. Tyler takes the stand on the 3rd day. For 90 minutes, he describes the systematic abuse, the psychological manipulation, the threats. His voice never wavers. The jury is transfixed. During cross-examination, Marcus's lawyer tries to paint Tyler as a troubled teen who resented his stepfather's discipline. But Tyler calmly provides school records, teacher testimonials, and psychological evaluations that destroy that narrative. On the 7th day, the jury deliberates for just 4 hours, guilty on all counts. At sentencing 2 weeks later, Judge Catherine Morrison looks directly at Marcus. Mr. Shaw, you used your wealth, connections, and position to terrorize a child. You corrupted law enforcement officials. You attempted murder when your crimes were exposed. This court sentences you to 27 years in prison with no possibility of parole for 20 years. Marcus shows no reaction, but I see Rawlings seated in the gallery. He'll serve 8 years for his role in the cover-up. As we leave the courthouse, Reporters surround us. Rebecca shields Tyler while Lieutenant Chen, now Captain Chun, runs interference. Later, at my house, we have a quiet celebration. Just the three of us and Mrs. Peterson, who's become like family. What happens now? Tyler asks. Now we heal, I say. You finish high school, apply to colleges. Your mom rebuilds her life. We move forward. I've been thinking, Tyler says, about law school. I want to be a prosecutor. Help other kids like me. Rebecca smiles, the first genuine smile I've seen in months. Your father would be so proud. Over the following months, normalcy gradually returns. Tyler's college applications go out. He's accepted to 7 schools, eventually choosing Penn State's pre-law program. Rebecca throws herself into therapy and volunteer work with domestic violence organizations. The Mitchell-Brennan Protocol is adopted statewide, then gains national attention. I'm invited to speak at conferences, to train officers. Tyler comes with me sometimes, sharing his story. 1 year after that terrible phone call, we're all at my house for Sunday dinner, a new tradition. Tyler's talking about his first semester classes when my phone rings. It's Captain Chun. Detective. Thought you want to know. 3 other officers connected to Marcus's corruption network were just arrested. This case keeps expanding. Good. Let justice work. After I hang up, Tyler asks, more arrests? Yes. The truth keeps coming out. Do you ever think about Marcus? About what kind of person he really was? I consider this. Sometimes. Mostly I think about what we learned, about speaking up, about believing victims, about how power can corrupt but courage can overcome it. Rebecca raises her glass. To courage. To family. To second chances. We toast, and for the first time in too long, everything feels right. 2 years later, I'm sitting in the audience at Penn State watching Tyler receive an award for his work with the campus domestic violence prevention program. He's grown into a confident young man, still thoughtful, still kind, but with a core of steel forged in that terrible experience. After the ceremony, he finds me in the crowd. Granddad, did you see? Dean Chun, no relation to the captain, presented the award herself. I saw. Your father would be so proud. We walk across campus, Tyler telling me about his plans for law school, his internship with the DA's office next summer. You know what's weird, he says. Sometimes I'm actually grateful it happened. Not the abuse. That was hell. But what came after? Finding my purpose. Understanding that I could turn pain into something positive. That's wisdom beyond your years, son. My phone buzzes. A text from an unknown number. Hello, Detective Mitchell. My name is Sarah Chun. I saw your TED talk about the Mitchell-Brennan Protocol. My stepdad has been hurting me for 2 years. I didn't know who to call. Then I found your speech. I'm making the call now. Thank you for giving me courage. I show Tyler the message. His eyes fill with tears. That's why we did this, he says. That's why it all mattered. Want to call her back together? Walk her through what to do. Yeah, let's do it. As we find a quiet bench to sit, and I dial the number, I think about that night 2 years ago. The fear, the pain, the desperation. But I also think about what came after. Justice, healing, purpose. Sometimes a single phone call in the middle of the night can change everything. It can break your world apart. Or it can save it. If this story touched your heart, subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell. Leave a comment sharing where you're watching from. Your engagement helps others find these stories. And if you or someone you know is experiencing abuse, remember, you're not alone. Make that call. Break the silence. There are people who will believe you, who will fight for you. Because sometimes the bravest thing you can do is whisper 3 words into a phone at 2 a.m. Please help me.